Hello, I'm Sameh Al Shaer. I hope you enjoy with me the utmost horror. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the buzzer button to receive all new on the channel. I am happy to join the Sameh Al Shaer families group on Facebook. Let's start. I am Hassan. I work as a psychiatrist, one of the most famous mental hospitals. I am married and have a young daughter. And one day, I'm in the hospital, as usual. Arrival of a new patient. But he is not like the others. This is the first time he enters. They are all afraid of death and cursed him severely. From the first time he went in to eat, he was beaten in it. I was so scared. I also noticed that he came with a lot of policemen. I don't understand why they do this, or anything that would make them afraid of someone like that. Until I met them and they took an iron cage in one of the wards. And they put this person inside. I asked my colleague's doctor, "You say what is this patient doing because of all this?" He said nervously, "There are cannibals in front of him." Sitlow amazed and told, "How?" He said, "He would enter people's homes, kill and eat them, and then the police arrested him. They found him sick. So they brought him here. But they said it would not happen again. He could have died. That is why everyone feared his death." What Holly said surprised me. I don't understand how anyone can eat someone. Then I decided to enter this person's room. It's room 11. I opened it and found it dark, and the policeman beat him in an ugly way, while he was a worker crying and suffering in a serious and sad way. In addition, the patient was a young man of approximately 18 years of age. I cried with great sympathy. I liked entering, closed the room and left. But then I learned that he is on hunger strike. They beat him to eat. Today I went to my house and thought, what makes a person eat human flesh? Don't forget to subscribe in the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new on the channel. I am happy to join Sameh Al Shaer's family group on Facebook. How can he do that? When I came back, I was very tired, so I sat with the little girl for a while and fell asleep. The next day I woke up and got in the car and went to the hospital. The first thing I did when I got there, if I enter room 11, I found this patient sitting in their cage. But this time he was eating his meat. The meat was uneven. Raw meat. The patient was sitting on the floor, and this is a piece of meat marmalade on the floor. The scene is like animals eating. And then I was sure that this patient is not normal. I can't see the scene. I closed the door and left. But in broad daylight, I heard a faint cry from this Amber. So I approached her. She opened the door and found the patient sleeping on the ground, and the worker was crying. He was crying strangely as if he was regretful or sad about something. I looked around and didn't see anyone seeing me. So I entered the room and closed the door in front of me. Of course, when I approached their cage, I was afraid. I approached them and got a severe ban. Until I stood in front of the cage. I found me praying with great fear. I felt that he was afraid of me. So I started talking to him and said, "Don't be afraid if I help you, and I want to talk to you." Shake their brain, meaning that he agrees with my words. "What's your name?" He said, "My name is Ahmed." "Are you right in saying that you eat brown, oh humans, oh Adam?" He said that he was sad and showed signs of sadness. "Yes, I love brown meat as a human being. I have always been disgusted with any other food. I am a big vampire." "Pray and say, how did you do it and why did you do it?" He said, "Because you are the cause of everything that happened to me. You are the one who did me." Their eyes started crying. "You say I don't understand what you mean. What are you talking about?" I pray while he is crying and he says, "I go to school like a normal kid. I live with my mom and dad. I'm like a normal kid. I'm very good at my studies and I never had any problem with anyone. They're all not like they loved me like that now. I live a normal life with my family. My father was a blacksmith at God's door. But he did not deprive us of anything. My life is the best way to live. Everything in my life was normal. Until one day when I came back from school. We didn't leave our house. Because the rubble was on the ground. I can't understand this point of view because I was only 10 years old, but I saw the bodies of my parents coming out of the rubble. I prefer to scream and cry when I want to be with them. I spent this day eating in the street. The next day, my uncle came and decided to receive me and would not live with him. I actually went to live with my uncle. He was married and they had a son the same age as me. Of course I can't forget my parents. Every day I sit alone crying and remember them. Also, when I was with my uncle, I was treated the worst. Sometimes my uncle wouldn't just eat me. Also, every time I came to play with my cousin, she would bother me and hit me when I was playing with him. She poured hot water on me from behind and hit me. Once I saw my cousin playing sitting in front of me. I can't play with him. He has a lot of toys and I don't. They have new clothes and I don't. I met my uncle as soon as I entered the school and he said he made me drop out and work with him. He is a hairdresser. He asked me to stand with him in the shop and work with him. Every day I see my cousin coming home from school in his uniform. While I work. When I am hungry and want to eat, sometimes my uncle allows me to eat leftovers. You were treating them like animals. Although my cousin used to eat the best food. I was sleeping on the floor in the dead of winter. I do whatever they want for them. To the point that I do their laundry. After about a month in this case. I am so tired I can't go to work with my uncle. So he would beat me a lot and burn my body because I have to work with him. Until one day I decided to run away from home. I live anywhere. I really did. I went out of the house while they were sleeping. Then I slept in a street far from my uncle's house for about half an hour. At that time, a gentleman saw me and decided to put me in an orphanage. I lived there much better than my uncle and I. I lived there for 5 years now. The house was declared bankrupt. I'm around 16. Then I came back to the street again. But this time I slept under any bridge that met me, and I was homeless and couldn't find a place to stay. I couldn't find food, to the point of eating garbage in. The street is like an animal. I thought a lot about what to do. Until then, I decided to eat animals. I used to hunt cats and dogs in the street, slaughter them and eat them. At first I was very disgusted with the topic. But then I got used to it. No, and I like their taste too. I still love to drink their blood. Oh. Like this mode for nearly a year. Eat any animal in front of me, dead or alive. I absolutely love their taste. I love the taste of their blood. I preferred this situation a lot. Until one day I was sitting alone in the street. I asked myself a question. What is human taste? Why should I eat humans instead of animals? I thought about it a lot. And I decided that I will destroy the sons of humans. I was not able to find me better than my uncle and my uncle's times. So at 3 in the evening I went to my uncle's house with a knife. At my age I will never forget their place. I went into the house and picked up a knife and opened my uncle's room and my uncle's house. Then I started to stab them with the knife I was carrying. They shouted louder. Until my cousin got fit and ran to the room I was in. They caught him too and started hitting him with the knife. I started catching them one by one. I ate them from them, by the way. They tasted sweet, not monsters. I started drinking their blood. I was so happy when I did this. They cut their bodies while eating, laughing, and cheering. Until the police found the place. Because of the neighbors I reported a strange movement and screaming in the house. The police arrested me and brought me here. Since then I love meat, but I am human. This is what happened to me. They were the ones who did it for me. He started crying a lot. I pray for this patient, or Ahmed. And I don't know what to say. Unexpectedly, their cages opened, and they hugged tightly together. I cried too. I was cutting my heart. I said, "Don't be afraid. I'm with you. Nothing will happen to you. No one will grieve you again. You will live your best life." Then they entered the cage again. I stayed in the hospital for a day and went. But the shocking news the next day was, when I went to the hospital to ask Ahmed, they told me that he had been executed in the morning. They told me that the police had already executed him in the morning. Nobody knows. When they told me about it, I was shocked and had tears in my eyes because I knew that Adam had been wronged and he was just a victim of his uncle's wrongdoing. Indeed, injustice is a beast. It can make a man a criminal, a murderer. I can't even forget Ahmed right now. If you liked the story, do not forget to subscribe and press the like button and the bell button to receive all new on the channel. Goodbye.